last but not least, we have Marion Risse, and she will talk about something even more interesting and also the body odor.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so yeah. I will talk about the impact of the menstrual cycle on skin volatile profiles. So as I only have 8 minutes, I will jump right away in my introduction. So as you may have heard already, it's so women exclusion is an important problem in research in general. So a lot of studies exclude women. So it is what's represented by this paper. So it was in 2018 to identify that half the published research only included males or females, both sexes, sorry, and that's in orange. But as we could hear earlier, it's changing pretty fast, which is good, but still. The reason why it's problematic is that it's only a partial representation of the population, and then is the microphone working? Okay, sorry. I have some echo. And then it reduces the utility of the results. The common justification for that is that it can introduce some variation in the study population, and then it complicates the analysis of the results. And research on human volatiles and vector attraction is no exception to that. And so in my research, I want to investigate if actually there is an effect of the menstrual cycle on body odor and vector attraction. And so to reply to those, to investigate that, I asked the question of whether there is a sex signature in skin volatiles, and also if the body odor vary consistently throughout the menstrual cycle. And I also investigate whether all of that impact mosquito attraction. So to do that, I've conducted 2 different studies. So both are follow kind of the same design with repeated volatile collections throughout the menstrual cycle, so at 3 phases: during the menstruation, during the fertile phase, and during the luteal phase. And I also have, in one study, male controls from which I collected at similar time intervals. Then I analyzed the sample with GCGC, and I processed the sample with GCImage. So this is a work in progress. So some of the data I've just analyzed on Friday. So it's quite recent. So be aware that it has not been proof checked many times. And also now I will only show you data on the arm volatiles, but I could observe the same pattern for the feet volatiles. So first, when looking at sex differences, so here it's PLSDA for separating males and females. So you can see that there is quite a strong overlap. But when doing machine learning analysis or random forest, we still could predict the sex with an accuracy of 75%, which is not too bad actually. And we also could get some compounds. So again, this could not be, I could not verify the identification yet, but it's just to give you an overview. And then what actually interests me a bit more is this effect of the menstrual cycle. So again, a PLSDA analysis, And here you have in red the menstrual phase, and in yellow fertile, and in blue luteal. And you see quite a strong overlap of the menstrual phase with the two other phases, but a separation of fertile and luteal phases into dimensions. So this overlap is a bit problematic for the random forest. As you can see, the prediction for menstrual and fertile is like the accuracy is quite low, and also just a bit better for fertile and luteal, but surprisingly quite good for menstrual and luteal. For this, also did a different analysis, so a Lima analysis, and that is represented here by volcano plots. And significant compounds are highlighted here in color. And you can see that actually there are quite only very few to make the distinction between fertile and menstrual. And also here now I just show you the overlap, so the compounds that come out with the Lima analysis as well as with the random forest, in the top 20 compounds of the random forest analysis. And so here there are only 2 compounds. So when looking at another comparison, so menstrual versus luteal, here we have more significant compounds and also a bigger overlap. When looking at luteal versus fertile, again, more significant compounds and some overlap again. It's very different from what you've heard so far, but I really want to come back to my mosquitoes. So I will show you some results of how mosquito actually perceive that. And so I will show you 2 graphs. So the proportion of responsive mosquitoes is shown on the y-axis, and on the x-axis you have the different treatments. So here males and females are separated in the 3 menstrual cycle phases. So what I've observed is that mosquito do not show any preference for the phases of the menstrual cycle, so they are attracted the same way at the different phases. And also the same, I couldn't see any difference in attraction for males or females. They don't mind. But one thing that I could observe though is that they show strong preferences for some individuals over other. So here, again, you have on the y-axis the proportion of responsive mosquitoes, and on the x-axis, you have some female participants. And what you can see is that, for example, for W104 or W106, they are very attractive to those people. But for W102, for example, they're really not attracted, sorry. And this remained constant over time and without any effect of the menstrual cycle. So to sum up very quickly, so with the GCImage analysis, I could observe sex differences and also some menstrual cycle differences, but still, I mean, I haven't analyzed all the data yet. Some was just processed on Saturday. So it's not analyzed, and so I will investigate that more. But what is quite important is that with the mosquito assay, I could not show any sex differences or preferences of the menstrual cycle phases, but a very stable attraction for some people over others. So yeah, I wanna thank you all for your attention, as well as my lab at ETH in Zurich, and also my collaborators here in Liège. And yeah, so thank you.